if today's, he was talking about back then in 1963, but if today's church does not recapture the sacrificial spirit of the early church, it will lose its authenticity, forfeit the loyalty of millions, and be dismissed as an irrelevant social club with no meaning. End of quote. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. asked the hard questions of these self-righteous clergymen. He wanted to know if we were headed toward chaos or community, demonization or acceptance, division or unity. And I believe the same questions are relevant for us today. Chaos or community, demonization or acceptance, division or unity. Dr. King pointed out over 40 years ago the central problem that we have even in our churches today. He pointed out that we are not making the impact on society that Jesus did when he walked upon this earth. Even with all of the resources and freedoms that we have today. Remember, Jesus told the disciples, he said to them that greater works will you do than I have ever done. And somehow Dr. King recognized that the church was headed in the wrong direction, not fulfilling the promise of God for the life of his church. Oh, today we have a proliferation. We have an increase of mega churches. Churches that have over 1,000, over 2,000 members with multiple services, ministries, activities, skills, and talents. We have celebrity churches, come on, tell the truth, and celebrity preachers that boast large budgets and 5-star resources and assets, large mansions, and some of them even fly in Lear jets. We have multicultural churches where people of all races and cultural persuasions are joining together in faith to serve God. The God over all, no matter what their backgrounds or their experience has been. We have denominations within denominations. And we even have non-denominations which have become their own form of denomination. And there are even I even heard the other day, interdenominational churches that seek to honor all the denominations of the members who comprise their church family. Churches own property now and businesses. Churches engage in profit-making enterprises, which in theory, is to finance the ministry and the advancement of kingdom purposes. There are churches that have even cut overhead by operating online. They call them cyber churches, ones in which members just log in and hear the message of the day. And even have a chance to respond through chat rooms and email lists for comments. You know, some churches during the sermon I read that some pastors encourage that members tweet and Facebook and send questions. And I guess, you know, this particular pastor will pick up his BlackBerry and get the question and answer it in the message. Churches are expanding in many ways. Churches have multiple locations where ministers travel and deliver the same message to different groups of people gathered in different geographical spaces, but who espouse a common relationship and unity within one church. Secular and Christian gospel artists are mixing their music and forming collaborations with each other to deliver the message of the gospel in new and contemporary ways, attracting the attention of young people and unchurched people, if not for the truth of the gospel, but for at least the innovativeness of it all. No, my brothers and sisters, church is not the same as it used to be. Churches are not confined anymore to Vacation Bible School, Baptist Training Union, and Church Sunday School. Bible study is not just held on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Bible study can be found in the morning, midday, on the weekend, and in homes and online at any time. Bible study materials are being printed in every language and every vernacular and being distributed through multiple modes of distribution. Sermons are available on the internet. Worship services are broadcast all throughout the world. And every person has access to information about the scriptures and different ways of reading it and interpreting what it means. Preachers are being educated at higher and higher levels and in higher and higher institutions of learning. Seasoned professionals are retiring their 401ks, their retirement accounts, and cashing in their stocks and bonds and investing their resources in their second careers of leading churches and using all the expertise they learned in corporate America for the advancement of God's kingdom. Women have, my favorite part, have and are entering the ministry and the pastorate of churches in record numbers. Praise the Lord. While there is still a small minority that seeks to silence them, but who are quickly finding out that that just is impossible to do. Young people are carving out their own church experience through praise dancing, Christian rap music, and hip-hop, different styles of preaching, different styles of ministry, and unique and personal expressions of their faith. I think I shared it in Bible study, at least when I visited Preston Seminary back in October for a seminar. I attended chapel there, and the entire chapel service was conducted in sign language. It was so interesting to me. There was a person over to the side that would give us a few words so we knew what was going on, but they taught us the songs in sign, and then when we went through the service, it was all in sign language. Yes, we are living in a time when there is no more church as usual. The stronghold of tradition that seemed to be choking the life out of our churches and our ability to evangelize others has been largely silenced. The so-called tradition that seemed to strangle the church and turn people away rather than draw them close. You know, that brand of tradition, that old brand of tradition is experiencing a silent death. And it's now regarded as a has-been. And it's being rendered as virtually non-existent. But let's not move too fast. We don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Y'all know that saying? You clean the baby and you throw the dirty water out. Don't throw the baby out. Don't throw the substance out with the dirty water. Let's not assume that everything old should be done away with in favor of everything new. Church may be changing rapidly, and we all sense it and are experiencing it, but there are some things that are critical to God's church, and they cannot be replaced. Many in the church have sought to re-educate and re-energize our congregations around the importance of hymns and congregational songs in the life of the believer and in their experience of worship. We are focusing on the historical and the present significance of the early church and of our church of old.